¿Qué pasa, Essential94? Y bienvenidos a la Prologue a desempeñar plenamente de mi letra siguiente en la franquicia Resident Evil.
Hey!
Oi!
What the fuck do you think you're doing? Get the fuck off my headset.
¿Por qué?
This is brand new Let's Play. You're not recording this.
Por favor. Vete al infierno. Get out of here. Alright, sorry about that. My roommate was trying to do my Let's Play for me. I'm just kidding, guys. That was totally me. I thought of this, like, for Resident Evil 2, but I had already recorded the prologue. So, yeah, I did it for the Resident Evil 3 prologue. For you Spanish speakers out there, I hope I did a good job. Alrighty, so, what up, it's Shankster94, and welcome to the prologue to my next Let's Fully Play series in the Resident Evil franchise. Having completed my full plays of both Resident Evil 1 and 2, the time has come to proceed to the next title in the series, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I will be playing the PlayStation version, of course, on my EPSXE emulator installed on my PC. This way I can give you 1080p gameplay of a game meant for no higher than 480p. It's awesome. Alright, now chronologically, Resident Evil 3 is split into two parts. One taking place before the events of Resident Evil 2, and the other taking place a couple days later. So you could say it's both a prequel and a sequel. I'm not going to reveal too much before we start playing through the game, because you'll see all the events anyway in time. I will, however, mention most of the new gameplay mechanics this game introduces. So to help out with those details, let's go ahead and keep to tradition and watch the demo reels of this game. There is only one way out of this nightmare. There is only one way to survive the horror. There is only one chance left. Okay. So gameplay is very similar so far to the previous titles, especially Resident Evil 2, with the zombie animations and everything. However, the handgun firing is a little faster than the previous two titles. And what's this? Oh! Okay, now we have environmental hazards that we could use against enemies, so that can come in handy definitely throughout the game. So yeah, that character you saw there happens to be a returning character from a previous game. That was Jill Valentine, and she is going to be the main character of this game. Alright, so let's go ahead and watch another demo, because once again, there are three. Okay, so now she has a shotgun, so things should get a little interesting. And she carries it two-handed the whole way. I could see some added animations too, and sound glyphs. Oh! Okay, so that zombie was about to grab her, and she pushed it. So basically, you sort of have a dodge and evade maneuver now. So yeah, this game definitely adds a lot more features, like new sounds for the zombies, new animations for the zombies. Jill holds the weapon two-handed regardless if she's moving or not. And yeah, the fact that there's now a dodging mechanism. Alright, now for the final demo. Oh, we got some Cerberus. Oh, there's the dodging maneuver again. Oh, okay, did you just see that? She just turned 180 degrees very quickly. That's another added feature. So yeah, lots of new gameplay mechanics, but it's still based on the same engine as you saw. And throughout the game, you're going to see a lot of the same animations that you're quite used to by now, especially during the cutscenes. Once again, though, there will be a couple added ones. Because of all of these new features that are added into the game, I have a feeling that this game is going to be the easiest to go through, compared to the previous two titles at least. Not to brag or anything, but I have mastered that dodging mechanism, so I know how to time it. But yeah, that 180 degree turn is also going to help a lot, because if I find zombies getting too close to me, Usually I would not have enough time to turn around and get away, but now with that 180 degree, I can definitely do that. So that's always an option now. So one quick thing, the fact that Jill Valentine is returning for this game, an interesting fact about the franchise is that would mean Resident Evil 2 was the last game in the main series, anyway, to feature completely original characters. Now, I know you're going to say, like, Chris Redfield was in Resident Evil 2, not as a plot character. You see him in Extreme Battle Mode. That's a minigame, so that doesn't really count as a returning character in terms of plot elements. But yeah, so Resident Evil 2 is the last game in the main series to feature completely original characters. All the way up to the upcoming release of Resident Evil 7, which apparently is going to feature all original characters. There will be no returning characters. Unless they're screwing with us, of course, but you never know. Now, I know some of you might be thinking of another argument. Well, this is why I say main series. When I say main series, I'm regarding all numbered titles, as well as Code Veronica and both Revelations. Those are the main series. Every other game is a spin-off. Spin-offs include the Survivor series, the Chronicle series, the Outbreak series, the Mercenary series, and Operation Raccoon City, Umbrella Corps, yeah. Anything that's not a numbered title and, like, not Code Veronica or Revelations. So, yes, some of those games feature an all-original cast with no returning characters, for sure. But I'm just saying, in the main series, 2 was the last one for a very long time that didn't have a returning character. So yeah, Resident Evil 3 is the first game in the series to feature a returning character. And every main game that came after that would repeat that process. This is why Resident Evil 7 is probably disappointing some people, because there will be no returning characters, according to Capcom. Alrighty, now I'll tell you how I'm going to go about this game specifically. So like the predecessors, I will be playing through the regular game multiple times. This will, however, be the smallest amount of times so far. So it's not going to be ridiculous, like 6 to 10 times or anything like that. I'm only going to play the campaign a total of 3 times, with the final playthrough, of course, being most canon to the established plot of Resident Evil. Along with all the new features I told you about, this game also brings back the zapping system from the first Resident Evil. However, it's not nearly as complex, and there are relatively few ways you can play this game. One of the new additions that contributes to the zapping system are these new sequences called live selections. Basically, when these occur, I will have to choose between 2 choices, and whichever I pick will affect the following outcome. Almost none of these decisions affect the game in the long run, but there is one in particular that decides how the game ends. Realistically, though, there are 3 decisions, because I only have a limited time to choose these decisions, so if I don't choose either, it usually results in an outcome similar to one of the original choices, but with negative effects. This is the main reason why I have to play it 3 times, because there are 3 choices for all of these live selections. Another contributor is the fact that there are 2 ways to end the game, with one also having 2 ways to go about it. Regardless, I won't be able to show everything in just 3 playthroughs. So of course, any event, cutscene, or unlockable that I don't show in the regular gameplay will be in the bonus video and epilogue of this whole full play. After beating the regular game, we will then of course play through the resulting minigames we unlock. In this game's case, there's actually only one, and it happens to be the first Mercenaries mode. It's nothing like the established Mercenaries in the more modern games of the series. It's more or less similar to Extreme Battle Mode from the previous game. Nevertheless, I will be playing it also 3 times, because there are a total of 3 characters in that minigame. Now to describe the titular character you see here, Nemesis. Spoiler alert, Nemesis is the result of one of Umbrella's many experiments. He is very similar to Mr. X from the previous game, as he does stalk you through most of the gameplay, and only has one sole objective, basically to kill you. I won't reveal his true motivation until we get to playing. Point is, the fact that he's in the title, we will be seeing him a lot. The other title for this franchise, Biohazard, on the other hand, is titled Last Escape, because this game also tells the story of the final days of Raccoon City. So this game is pretty significant, as with all the main titles of the franchise. Now for the difficulty modes. As you can see here, there are only two of them, easy and hard. The main difference is self-explanatory, but there are some other differences too. In easy mode, you start with an assault rifle, almost all weapons in the game in the item box, and with a kit with 3 first aid sprays. The new dodging system you saw in the demo is also modified to where you automatically dodge as long as you're holding the fire button. In hard mode, you start with the regular handgun and have to gather all the weapons, with only the knife in the item box, and there is no health item in your inventory from the start. The dodging system, of course, is more difficult, as you can only perform it by carefully timing either the aiming button or the firing button while aiming. You will not dodge if you're continuously firing, so don't think easy mode's going to carry over to hard mode. On the bright side, however, hard mode gives you a few more weapons that aren't found in easy mode, and upon defeating Nemesis, he will drop a case with a prize, again similar to Mr. X. So when it comes to actually playing this game, I will of course tackle it in hard mode, because a couple fun facts about me in this game particular, this was the very first game in the entire franchise I managed to beat back in my childhood. This is the first game I personally beat in my lifetime. I beat it before Resident Evil 1. And it has also become the game I've played all the way through the most amount of times. More than 40 times, to be honest. I'm not bragging about that, just so you guys know. It's just a number. In my Resident Evil 3 weapons review, I did slightly brag about it, and I've regretted it ever since. And yeah, you got a couple snobby people in the comments who call me out on that shit. Alright, so now to talk about the ranking system. I believe it is exactly the same as Resident Evil 2, with your letter grade being determined by your final time, your first aid spray usage, and the amount of saves. Of course, to get an A rank, you have to do significantly well, finishing under 3 hours, with no more than 1 first aid spray and 1 ink ribbon used. So there's not much else really to explain about that, other than what exactly rank unlocks you in this game. I believe the only unlockables that depend on rank specifically are special costumes. You can only unlock 2 of them in easy mode, but in hard mode you can unlock 5 of them. To get all 5, you have to get an A rank. So that's the only reward really for an A rank. Not to boast, but I'll probably unlock it naturally with my skill set in these classic games. Alrighty, well, I think I've said enough about the game, so I'll go ahead and conclude this prologue to my new full play. This is Shankster94, aka TheGamerShankster. Rate, comment, subscribe. See you guys soon, and the start of my full play of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Peace out, stay cool.